From garbage. Garbage has to be a poem of our time because garbage is spiritual, believable enough to get our attention, getting in the way, piling up, stinking, turning brooks brownish and creamy white. What else deflects us from the errors of our illusionary ways? Not a temptation. To trashlessness, this is too far off, in any way unimaginable, unrealistic. I'm a hole puncher or a hole plugger. Stick a finger in the dam. Hold back the issue. Of creativity's floor, the forthcoming, futuristic, the origins feeding trash, down by I-95 in Florida, where flatlands ocean engulf flat mounds of disposable waste. For if you dig something up to make room for something to put in, what about the something dug up, as with graves? The garbage trucks crawl as if in obsession toward the high places with goals. And garbage kept alive, offerings to the gods of garbage or retribution of realistic. Expectations of unpleasant necessities refined young earthworms. Drowned up in the macadam pools by spring rains, moistened out white in a day or so in round spots. Look like spectrum or creamy rich, broken up cold clams. If this is the best poem of the century, it could be about the worst poem of the century. It comes at least toward the end, so a long tracing of bad stuff can swell under its measures, but they are on the heights. A small smoke waves through the sacrificial bounty, day and night, to layer the sky brown, shut us in as into a kettle, the everlasting flame. These acres deep of tendencies keep a free offering of crippled plastic chair, played out sports outfit, print stained with jelly. How to write this poem? Should it be short? A small popping of duplexes, or long, hunting wide, coming home late, losing the trail and recovering it? Should it act out illustrations, examples, colors, clothes, or intensify? Reductively into statement, bones any corpse should do to surround, or should it be nothing at all unless it finds itself the poem, which is about the pre-idea of the dispensational access from the stone to wind to stone. It is complete before it begins, so I needed not hurry myself into brevity through a weary reader. Might briefly be done, the access will be clear enough dubbed here, and with a little ink or find out into every shade and form of its revelation, this is a scientific poem. Asserting the nature, models, values that we have invented, little copied reflections of possibilities already here. This where we came to and how we came. A Presley director behind the black chauffeuring dozer leans the gleanings and reads the birds, millions of loners circling. A common height, alighting to the meaty streaks and puffy muffins, there is a mound. 2. And into poet's mind, dead language is hauled off, too, and burned down. The energy held and shaped into new turns and clusters, the mind strengthened by what it is strengthened for, where but in the very asshole of come down is redemption, as where but brought low, where but in grief of failure, lost error do we decide this savage afflictions that turn around us, where but in the rage of his love crawls us through, not a thing left in our self-display. Unhumiliated do we find the sweet seed of new routes, but we are unusual natural nature, not we give rise to us. We are not, though natural, divorced from higher, finer configurations, tissues and holograms of energy circulate in us and seek and find representations of ourselves outside us, so that we can participate in the celebrations high and no reaches of feeling, and sight and thought that penetrate far, far beyond those wet cells. Right up in the past of our societies, the planets, the moons, and other bodies locally to the other end of the pole, where matter forms and diffuses and energy loses all means to express itself. Except as a spirit, There, oh yes, in the abiding where mine, but nothing else abates the eternal. Until it turns into another pear or some fish, the momentary glint in the fishy eye having been there so long, coming and going, its eternity's glint, it all wraps back around. Into and out of form, plottable and implottable, and in one phase, the one of grief and love. We know the other, where everlasting comes to sway, okay and smooth, the heaven we mostly want through. This is a jet huddled, held back, heaven's daunting. One must write and rewrite till one writes it right. If I'm in touch, she said, then I've got an edge. What the heck kind of talk is that? I can't believe I'm merely an old person whose mother is dead, whose father is gone, and many of those friends and associates have winded away to the ground, which is only heavy wind or to ashes and lighter breeze, but it's all quite frankly to be expected and not looked around. Or even old trees. I remember some of them where they used to stand, pictures taken by some of them, and old dogs, especially one imperial black one, quad dogs with their hierarchies, one succeeding another, the barking and the romping, sliding away like slides from a projector. What were they then that they are now?